So as you'll know, I've been covering this book for a pretty good minute, right? A couple issues. We are 3 issues into this book, and it is not letting up. That's really why I like independent comic books, because they stretch the imagination and up the violence, blood and gore. I love it so much. So we are in issue 3 of the Hexiles, and y'all just Mad Cave. This is it. Welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. K. Roy Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. Now, as we saw in the last book, all of the kids of Jameson Krill were basically separated. They met up at his funeral, and they all decided to go their separate ways after battling the demons that showed up. And at the end of that first book, Gerald was killed by a pack of demons. And he was the pyro of the group. Now, in the second book, everybody is, living their life as normal, as if they did not just go to their father's funeral. And they all receive a package with a piece of Gerald in it. Okay, and Britton uses her demon to get all her brothers and sisters together, and that is where we are now. So they are all together in a restaurant, and they're just, it's very awkward because they do not know each other. The only thing that happened at the funeral, they shared names, and they got attacked. They worked together, defeated the demons, and then they all ran back to their lives, and then they were basically picked from their lives by the demons yet again. So essentially the demons are trying to get them to join with them or side with them because their father promised their souls before they were even born. So Britton uses her demon because her demon, of course, knows what's going on and who their father actually is, to tell a couple of stories. So in one story in particular, he goes to this woman's house because her daughter is possessed by a demon, and none of the priests have been able to exorcise the demon. So she thinks that he is there to help, but he is not a priest. And disgustingly enough, he is able to exorcise the demon and give the demon its own body while killing the girl that the demon is possessing, and then leaves the mother with this newly fleshed demon, and is like, oh, now by the way, you should be able to say your prayers, or you should go ahead and say your prayers, because she was trying to pray during the exorcism, and he was like, no, don't do that. So she stopped. You probably should have kept going, not even gonna lie. And they're like, okay, well, we knew he was an ass, and I think Romy is the one who's like, he sounds like more than that. And they're like, if they're trying to get us to join us, they're not just going to kill us. And they're like, tell that to Gerald. Y'all got a piece of him. I mean, if you're not going to do what they are wanting you to do, then yes, they are going to kill you. So, pay attention. Keep up. So they get into another story where he goes to this jail and he's going to go free this murderer, and the guy is super excited to see Jameson. Jameson has killed all of the police officers in this prison, and he makes one of them rise from the dead and unlock the door. As soon as that guy steps out of the prison cell, an angel comes out and is like, you are not supposed to be free, you know better, and goes in to kill him. Now, Jameson does put up one of those ancient magic shields to try to shield him from what's happening, but mainly he was actually shielding himself. You can definitely tell that he was shielding himself. And the angel's like, you mean to come here and free him? What is wrong with you? And basically just giving this moral speech. And he was like, oh, I came here, but I didn't actually come here for him. I came here for you. And the whole time he has this enchanted blade that he uses to kill this angel. And they're just like, what the fuck kind of person is this that as is deemed our father? So Britton wants him to tell another story, but they don't really want to hear another story, and they're actually kind of not even really in the mood to be together. And it's just like, we don't have a choice here. We either stay together or we die separately, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, I want him to tell a story that's useful, because he's really getting a kick out of it. He's like, I don't know why you guys don't just do what they ask you. Y'all don't have souls to give away, because they were already promised. And and they're like, I have dreams, aspirations, I want to do this. He's like, I mean, you can do that, but it's basically just a job. You would be like working for that person down there, and like, you can do whatever you want. It's just whenever he calls for you to do something, you show up, you do it, and then you can go back to doing what you were doing. Period. Point blank. They don't want to do that, which makes a lot of sense. So he does get into the story of how their souls got sold. So basically, their father got called by this group of people called the Coven, and he goes to this castle, and they're like, oh, we want you to join us. And he says no. And one of the women standing next to him was like, I told them that you were going to say no, but this isn't like a request. They're not asking. And basically the whole situation is that he's supposed to go to hell and become a demon, and then he's supposed to serve as that demon. However, he says he would be a terrible demon and that he's better used on earth as a human. However, he does have souls to promise instead of his. So he ends up promising the souls of his children. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you had kids. He said, oh, I don't yet. I'm gonna. And as soon as I have them, y'all can have them. I don't give a fuck. So he was doing anything and everything to stay out of hell and become a demon, only to end up dying here on earth and still probably becoming a fucking demon. So they were like, oh, so he's a coward, is what we're saying. Yes, your dad's a bitch. That's what that is. So, Britton's like, where is this castle actually? And he's like, it's in the Black Forest in Germany. I know it really well. And so she comes up with the idea that they have power separately. Together, they have a crap ton of power. And they should storm the castle. And they're all like, you're kidding. She's like, oh no, I'm being very serious, because this is bullcrap, right? But she feels very strongly that they can fight it and take that power back for themselves to keep them from turning into demons. Solid logic based on the information provided these past couple of days. So she's like, let's storm the fucking castle. And they all toast to it. So that is the plan that they are going with. Listen, I don't know. This is actually something that I cannot predict, honestly, because when I saw how they were in the first book, when they teamed up together to defeat the demons that were attacking them at the funeral, I was like, ooh, I know they are crazy strong. I did not expect Gerald, the fire user of the group, to be killed, and not even just killed, but killed so very easily by the demons, because, they took on a lot of demons at that funeral. So when he got killed, I was like, maybe they don't use their powers as often as they should, but it seems like, honestly, that they do. So I think that together they are definitely a force to be reckoned with. I think they also did a really good job separately when they were being attacked by the demons, but it seemed like they were lesser demons that were just there to be like, hey, come join us. Like, hi, come to our side, come to the dark side. We have cookies. That's how it felt a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So we will see how they do. And I think another thing is that you have to be able to work together. I'm not going to say that they were working together. They were just together using their powers. You know what I'm saying? So they have to figure out also a way to bounce off of each other using their abilities. So I'm kind of hoping that on the way to the castle that they're going to see the coven or whatever, that they learn how each of their powers works exactly and how to bounce off of it. Because you have somebody who can't die, which is Madison, and then you have Britton, who is in charge of a demon who is not switching sides, a demon who's not switching loyalties. He is bound to her no matter what it is that she does. And then you have Romy, and you have them and all these like really different powers that can mesh really well if you learn how to bounce off of each other. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that does happen. I do like that Britton is the one taking charge of this. I also like how her character is designed, and I don't know. Some people were complaining about her attitude, and I'm like, she doesn't have an attitude, but she's no nonsense. And I said, that is a black woman for you. You're not going to play in my fucking face. You know what I'm saying? And she's the one coming up with the idea. She's the one using her brain. Like, that is a black woman character for you. No, not cowering. She's not looking for the way out. She's looking straight ahead. Like, I could be minding my business, but minding my business could be getting me killed. You guys are my siblings, and I don't want you guys to die, even though I just met y'all like a few days ago. And we have the power to, we may not have the power to completely stop this, but we have the power to fight against it. So we're going to. Point blank. So how her character is currently written over these 3 issues, I definitely like, because she don't be taking no shit off nobody. And Madison is also someone that I like, saying, you know, nobody is about to dictate my life. I feel you, because she could knuckle under. But then the thing is how do you kill that which cannot die? Because that's literally her power. She's been killed twice now. How do you kill that which cannot die? What are you going to do with that? So I'm very interested to see this, the writing, the artwork. This, like, I'm in love with this, and I get excited every time I see it on the new comics coming out website. So, you know. But that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office. If you haven't gotten the book, please go ahead and get the book. Also, check out the podcast. We are 2 episodes in, and we're going to have I'm going to have a couple special Black History Month episodes. So, you want it, I got it. And I will see you guys at your next checkup.